Now children, we will see the second paragraph. The documents and artifacts which are not exhibited but historically very important are stored in the museum and archives after completing necessary treatments for the conservation and preservation. Those documents and artifacts are made available to researchers as and what wherever necessary. Libraries conserve, preserve and manage the books. Children, the documents and artifacts which are not exhibited but historical very important are stored in museum. Children, all things are not exhibit. Exhibition for public is for few, not all the things they are exhibit. Some are kept for the reference for the historians. Understood? For the researchers. Understood? Which are stored in museum and archives. And completing necessary treatment. See children, what is this what treatment here? Treatment means, see children, since it belongs to historical age or past time, so there is damage is much there. Understood? So in order to preserve, some solutions are there, some they are treated chemically, they applied something, some chemicals are applied so that it will be preserved for a longer time. So some documents and artifacts are kept for the researchers, for historians. Not all the things are there for exhibition. Understood? So those documents and artifacts are made available to researchers and whenever necessary. Libraries conserve and preserve and manage the books. Children, libraries are very important. We already know the importance of library. So where to historians, whenever they start doing any type of research, they first refer to the libraries, because library is the place where they can find any type of book uh, on any topic on which they wanted to do their research. And we can find in various big libraries in various metropolitan cities, we can find so many historical books which are preserved and conserved for the researchers, for historians, for the people who wanted to do research on these various artifacts and documents. Understood? So not everything is there for exhibition. Some are kept for researchers and historians. Understood? And library are the main place where these things can be reserved and preserve and conserve. Understood? Because librarian, they know better that how to manage those books, how to kept secure, how to kept very you can say in a proper manner. Understood? So that is why library is the place where we can find those historical books, or where we can take reference while we are doing any type of research on our the things which we wanted to know about our past, about any documents, about any artifacts. So that is the place, library is the place where we can conserve and preserve and manage the books. Understood? So this is very important. So sources of history is need to be conserved and preserved, and library is the place where we can manage, conserve, preserve the books. Understood? And see children, documents are very important. Documents and artifacts are very important. Why these things are very important? Because unless it is not reserved or conserved or preserved or not kept safely, researchers they will find very difficult, because no one is there from past to tell them, to explain them. So library is the only place where these documents and artifacts are kept safely. Understood? So we need to preserve those things under we can proper guidance. Understood? So library is the place where these things can be conserved and preserved. So this is the first part of your first and second paragraph, that how we are supposed to keep and preserve our sources of history. Next we will see sources of history, their conservation, preservation. So children, already we have studied in a previous class also, you know that how many sources of history are there. We know broadly about oral sources, written sources, material sources. Children, do you find that all these resources are same? No. These are different type of sources of history. Oral sources are different, written sources are different, and material sources are different. And so also to conserve those three types of sources, the process is also different. Understood? The process is also different, and the different process is there, that how we can conserve and preserve oral sources of history, how we can preserve and conserve written sources of history, what are the different types of methods, what are the different steps we are supposed to take to preserve written sources, to preserve oral sources, and to preserve material sources. And children, you know that some different types of trainings also given to those historians or those people, those who are there to preserve and conserve these three types of sources. Understood? The special trainings are also given, because unless we are not able to know the particular proper way, we cannot preserve these sources of history. So, step by step we will see how we can preserve and conserve oral source of history, written source of history, and material source of history.